Come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance Torah. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, light up the night. There's so many Chanukkah songs. It's all about lighting up the night with the light of Chanukkah, with the miracle of light. On Chanukkah, just 2 nights ago, when it started, millions of Jews around the world lit their homes and their environment with a beautiful flickering flame of one Chanukkah candle or oil, as they did in the Holy Temple. Last night, we lit 2 flames. Tonight, God willing, before Shabbos, we will light 3. Because kindness, goodness, and light needs to increase, and it increases. And that is the Jewish law, that's the halacha from and aligned with the teaching of Hillel, or Beit Hillel. And that's the approach that we follow. That each night of Hanukkah, we build on the light of the previous night, and we add to the light, always increasing in light, in love, and goodness, and kindness. And the Rebbe taught that many times. But there's another opinion, one that is surprising, or maybe even counterintuitive. Beit Hillel, the opposing force of Beit Shammai, teaches us to decrease the lights each night. On the first night, there's 8 candles on the Chanukkah menorah. The second night, there are 7. The final night, there's only 1 candle left. Wait. Really? Why would they say to do such a thing? Why would they say to decrease the light of Hanukkah when it goes against everything we know and stand for? Isn't Judaism about growth in holiness and in good things? The Torah teaches us that Shivim Panim LaTorah. There's 70 faces or explanations of ways to understand the Torah, and all of them are true. So Shammai, Beit Shammai, their opinion is true, definitely. Not only that, it gets even better. It says that when Mashiach comes, when the world is in its perfected state, we will all follow the opinions of Beit Shammai. We will light 8 candles first night and then diminish each night. So the teaching of Beit Shammai is not just true, but it's also futuristic. What are they thinking? Beit Shammai's halachic reasoning follows the idea of the offerings that the Holy Temple would bring during Sukkot. On Sukkot, they would bring 70 bulls representing 70 nations. And they would start with 70 and then go down, less and less, representing the idea, metaphorically, that the spiritual power, the negative spiritual power of the nations diminishes as we increase in our light. So they did that on Sukkot. On Chanukkah too, they see the diminishing light is out of the lack of necessity. That means the first day they faced on Chanukkah, when they came into the temple, it was completely dark. So they blasted it with light. They illuminated with 8, let's say, metaphorically, with 8 candles. And over here, the next night, the darkness, the forces of darkness were diminished. They weakened. So less light is needed to overcome the darkness. So you only need 7 candles. And the next day, 6, all the way down to the first one. So each candle, each light that we bring into the world diminishes the negative forces. And therefore, says Beit Shammai, we start with a big, powerful light, and then we end with a little bit. So we do know at the end it ends up that just being 1 small candle is enough to what remains of the darkness. This teaching of the Beit Shammai about using less light is about the triumph of holiness growing and diminishing the negative around us. Now Chanukkah, so we see, as Beit Shammai, and Beis Hillel. They're two opposing opinions, but they're both true. Beit Shammai, Beit Hillel, focuses on the actualization of the light and of the miracle. The oil burned longer each day, the longer the light increased, so we follow that. That's the actual light in the world. It's getting more and more and more. Beit Shammai focuses on the potential. They say, what is the potential of the light? What will be? What can be? And that potential is greatest on the first day. So on that first day, there was potential for 8 days of light. On the second day, there was potential for 7 days of light. We take these ideas, these two truths, and we balance them in our lives also, says the Rebbe. We have to obviously identify and focus on the importance of actualizing of our potential step by step, like Beis Hillel says we need to do. But we also need to recognize immense untapped potential within ourselves and within others, as Beit Shammai emphasizes. This potential is not just about Chanuhkah, it's about how we view ourselves and others. The Rebbe exemplifies this in the humble beginnings of Chabad in America in the 1940s and 50s. He didn't see a small group, 20, 30, 40, 50 Hasidim. He envisioned a global force that will change the world for good. And today there's 5,000 plus Chabad centers. In 1970 something, there was one public menorah illuminating the streets and the town squares and community centers and city halls. Today there's 20,000 plus public menorahs everywhere. The Rebbe didn't see just the actual, he saw the potential. So too, we must. When we see this one flickering flame on the first night, like Beis Hillel, like the way we follow, do we see just one light or the potential for a full-fledged menorah to illuminate and brighten the world? When you look at yourself, do you see just your accomplishments, or do you see what you can be, what you're capable of, what your divine spark is capable of? And when you look at another, especially somebody who's struggling, do we see who they are right now, or do we see what they can be, what he or she can become? So the way teachers, leaders, parents, everybody needs to look at each other. When we look at the actual, sometimes it's a little bit small. When we look at the potential is great. And this is the lens of Beit Shammai, which is counterintuitive. But when we look at somebody and see their potential, we actually help transform that potential into reality. So together with Beis Hillel's actual light in the world and Beis Shammai's potential light in the world, we don't just increase the light, but we also reveal the light that is within somebody, hidden, waiting to shine. That's about Chanuhkah. If you want to connect this very quickly to Parshas Mikeitz, in this Parsha we see Yosef, who was in the depths of the dungeon in the prison in Egypt, and he took his position, and instead of falling into despair, he transformed it. He saw the potential hidden and transformed it to become the second in command in Egypt, thus sustaining not just himself, not just his family, not just the Jewish people, the whole wide world until today. Happy Chanuhkah, good Shabbos, and you should have a Chanuhkah and a life filled with light, potential, and actualization of that potential and growth. Take care.